Welcome, everyone, to the semifinal round 2 of the playoffs, aka Week 16, the penultimate week of the season. It's been a long time coming, guys. I mean, it seems just like yesterday when I was doing the first report of the year, the pre-report of the year. But cheers to everyone still in the playoffs. Me, E-Man, P-Man, Matt. And cheers to everyone else that's not in the playoffs. Same standings as last week. I'm not going to change the record anymore because it's just regular season shit. But I have updated who's been eliminated and who's still in it. So obviously, all of these Central teams have been eliminated thanks to the Heaters. And the Titans Elite have been eliminated thanks to the Voyagers. So we got 4 teams left. LA Finesse, Vietnam Voyagers in the West, Philadelphia Smeagol's, Hickory Grove Heaters in the East. So, just like last year, we got a battle for the Western Crown. Winner takes on the winner of the battle for the Eastern Crown. And so it's kind of just like last year. The Central doesn't even fucking matter this year. It will next year, but yeah. As you can see at the top, guys, I have, and I'll probably just keep it like this, unless maybe you want it to look different or whatever, but I have updated the draft order as it stands right now. Again, like I said last video, we're moving from the middle out on the draft order on how it works, depending on who is winning or who is losing in the winner's bracket and who is losing in the loser's bracket or the consolation bracket. So as of now, the Trolls and the Room Dogs have the... Wait a second. That's not correct. Hold on a second. Never mind. That is fucking correct. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways, yeah. So as it stands now, the Trolls and the Room Dogs have the 5th and 6th pick. The reason for that is because the Trolls have a worse record than the Room Dogs, and both of them have lost in the first round of the consolation bracket. So the Trolls get the better pick. And likewise, the Quailman and the Titans Elite have the 7 and 8 pick respectively. Obviously the same reasoning. The Titans Elite are 10 and 4. The Quailmen are 7 and 7. So the Quailmen get a better pick than the Titans Elite. And this week's games will decide the numbers 3, 4, and 9 and 10 picks. And then next week, the championship round will decide the 11 and 12 picks between the actual champion of the league and the 1 and 2 picks, depending on the consolation bracket finish. And we'll get into more of that a little bit later. Anyways, let's get into the power rankings. Gonna make this one quick because, playoff power rankings are kind of whatever, but let's get into it. Wisconsin Bunny Bangers coming in at number 12. They're fucking garbage. Hopefully Nate can pull out a win miraculously against Rico and snag a top 2 spot, but it's not looking pretty. Coming in at number 11, we got the Washington Wise Guys, who, I'm sorry, Bunny Bangers are not playing Rico. They're playing, who the fuck are they playing? They're playing the Dumpster Fire, and they have a better shot than the Wise Guys do against Rico. So hopefully one of these two teams, they're hoping just to win one. Then they get a top 2 pick where they should be. The Room Dogs coming in at number 10. Just beat up. I mean, this team has just been beat up all season. I mean, had this team stayed healthy, they'd probably be in the playoffs right now. But they're not. So see you next year, Mandy. And again, like I said, I hope you are, sleeping with the belt right now, because It's going to go somewhere. But the good news is most likely it's not going to go far. You just got to take it across town to either E-Man, Matt, or P-Man. Because it doesn't look like I'm going to win my match. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later as well. Coming in at number 9, dropping down a couple spots, you got the Trentham Trolls. This team, man, it's pretty good, but it looks like they need to just build around Jonathan Taylor. If they do that, they'll be fine in the future. All they need is a pretty good draft pick. Again, they got the number 5 pick, so that's pretty solid, especially considering this year's draft is not really. There's no one at the top that's like amazing that you have to take like last year's draft or this year's draft, whatever you want to call it. So being in the 5th spot's not that bad. It actually might be a little even better than those top spots, just because takes away the anxiety, I guess, of who the fuck you're going to pick out of all of these mediocre players. Whereas when you're left with one, it's easy to pick. Coming in at number 8, you got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. This team, again, just kind of fizzled kind of all year, really. Just kind of fizzling down there. They need a spark. They need something in the draft this year. And that's what they're fighting for right now. They're fighting for one of those top spots. And again, it looks like they're probably going to get one. If this team gets a solid playmaker, then they can turn right around. Because, again, they missed the playoffs by that much. So we'll see the Tiger Sharks next season for sure. Coming in at number 7, again, another disappointing team was the Columbia Dumpster Fire. Everyone had high hopes for this team. I had high hopes for this team. I thought this team was going to win the belt at the beginning of the season. They ain't going to do that. They're going to fucking skip town and shit in the middle of the night like the Colts. And we'll see what happens with this squad. They're also battling for a top pick. And they have a pretty good chance of getting one as well. So if this team can finally get some health and basically some good depth, then they may be solid next year as well. Coming in at number 6, you got the French Quarter Quailmen. Came up way short against the Heaters. The Heaters stayed hot. Quailmen fell flat on their face in the playoffs. And don't quote me on this, guys, but I don't know if Dan has ever won a playoff game in this league. Not just in Dynasty. I'm talking since we've been doing it for 7 years. I don't know if Dan has ever won a playoff game. Dan, can you let me know if you have? I don't think so. I do have the ESPN, the old records, and I will be updating those old records in the off season, and I'll probably bring them over into Sleeper, but I have to manually do it. So it'll take a little while to do that. I'm going to try and do it in a way to where it doesn't affect current like records, because right now on Sleeper, it keeps track of our current records on Sleeper, which we've been doing a Dynasty on Sleeper. So I want to keep those records intact and easy to look at, but I can add like league history notes to the league history or whatever for our past ESPN leagues that you guys can go and look at and shit like that. But yeah, I don't. That'll be coming in the offseason, but I don't think Dan's ever won a playoff game. He's been in the playoffs a few times. I don't know if he's ever won a playoff game, but this team looks fucking solid. Youngest team in the league. Best young team, I guess. Definitely the youngest. They got 4 starters that were first round picks last year, and they look to be all solid. And some of them are only going to get better. So, excuse me. And they won. And they won the Central with that squad this year. Again, it was close, but they won the Central with a rookie squad basically, and Justin Herbert, who was a rookie last year. So this team looks. All they need is one more good pick, and this team is going to jump from that 7-7 up to that 10-4 spot, just like the Titans Elite and the Finesse were. Okay, that's all it's going to take. And some good coaching, but we'll see. Anyways, on to number 5. We got the SC Titans Elite. Taking a loss last week. Could not beat the Voyagers twice in a row. even though Joe said it was always hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. Sorry, Joe. Cheers, man. But the Titans Elite have not won. They've been in the playoffs basically every year since the start of the league. I think maybe 1 year they've missed. The first 3 years, the Titans Elite made the championship game. Year number 1, they made the championship game and they won it. Years number 2 and 3, they made the championship game but lost in the championship game. So this team is not a dynasty, obviously, but this team has got some good coaching. Almost like a Bill Belichick type of shit. Like, you look at their roster and you're like, what the fuck is this roster? But then they get 10 wins. You're like, all right, So Joe's got something brewing over there in SC. Let's see if he can keep it up next year. Moving on, coming in at number 4, dropping down a few spots. We got the Vietnam Voyagers. Got fucking smashed by COVID this week. Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, 2 of the best running backs, fantasy running backs in the league. Bam, gone, out this week. And yeah, fucking sucks. And a couple other players as well. I mean, Waller can't get healthy. Freiermuth is in concussion protocol again. And he's already been ruled out. So this team is just, I don't want to say unlucky. Very unlucky for all this to happen in the playoffs. But fuck me, right? Shit happens. Coming in at number 3, we got the Philadelphia Smeagol's. Had to move them up a spot. Again, this team just looks a little long in the tooth. Don't know if they're going to beat the Heaters, but we'll see. As of now, they're winning. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later. But this team, they're in the championship game again. They want to get that. They want that title back. They had it 2 years ago, and they're looking to do it again. This team is they're always there. They're always in the hunt. But we'll see if they can do it. Coming in at number 2, you got the Hickory Grove Heaters. Woo! 2 weeks in a row, putting up over 130. This week, they probably need to do that again to take down the heated rival Smeagol's to move on to the championship game. The first championship game in Matt's history, I think. I'm like 99% sure Matt has never been to the championship game. And, yeah, this will be huge for the Heaters. Again, I'm going to have to look at all these stats from the old days on ESPN, but I don't know if Matt's ever made the championship game before. Again, Matt, correct me in the chat if you have, and I'm sorry that I don't remember if you have. Coming in at number 1, top of the league, you got the LA Finesse. Holy fuck. It's crazy what a rebrand can do for a team. I mean, this team was in Catalina, just down the road. Garbage. Rebranded. Look at them now. Top of the West, top of the league, top of the power rankings, and probably going to go on to the championship game for their first time in history. So this is a very, very historic year for this league. If the Heaters and Finesse both make the championship game, we will have 2 teams that have never been in the championship game before, I think. And again, obviously a new champion because Mandy's not going to be the champion again, and a champion that's never been champion before. So I love it. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I want. You know what I mean? Of course, I want to win every year. Of course I do. But we all know it. We all have that same feeling. You're tired of seeing the same fucking teams win and win and win and get the championship every single year, right? That's why everybody hates Bama. That's why everybody hates the Patriots, Mandy. Okay? We're tired of seeing the same shit every year. So a Finesse Heaters showdown for the title, for the championship belt. Woo! Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. Give me a hell yeah if you think about that. But we're only halfway through, guys. Let's get into the consolation rounds, aka the battle for the number 1 pick. Matchup number 1 in the consolation bracket. You got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks taking on heated rival Washington Wise Guys. And by the way, guys, this is fucking rivalry week. I don't know if you've seen the matchups, but holy shit, it's bad blood everywhere, and that's what Rico thrives on: the bad blood in the water, all that shit. And as it stands now, I mean, the Tiger Sharks are just blowing out the Wise Guys at this point. I mean, the Wise Guys had a bye because, I mean, they deserved one, but Nick Chubb and A.J. Brown came back, and they both put up 26 points. Just fucking teams. Boom. Get fucking shit on. Tebow's going to need a miracle to come back and get a top 2 pick, but it's looking like Tebow is going to be settling for the number 3 pick. Because if Tebow loses, he gets the number 3 pick regardless of what happens in the other game, because he has the worst record in the league. Matchup number 2. We got the Columbia Dumpster Fire in what might be their last game of the season versus the Wisconsin Bunny Bangers at 4-10, who are garbage. But this game is a lot closer than everyone predicted. And if the Bunny Bangers lose, then they still have a chance to get the number 3 pick if the Wise Guys win. If both the Wise Guys and the Bunny Bangers lose, the Bunny Bangers will get the number 4 pick. The Wise Guys will get the number 3 pick. And then the battle between the Dumpster Fire and the Tiger Sharks for the number 1 and 2 spots. As it stands now, this game, Aaron Rodgers put up a 20 spot. Christian Kirk put up 8.5. Austin Hooper only put up 4 for the cheese-eating rabbits. Dante Foreman put up 7.5. And Kenny Moore only put up 3.5 for the Dumpster Fire. So the Dumpster Fire are starting to fizzle out a little bit here towards the end of the season. They really need to pull together, because if they are going to rebrand, they're going to need some star power on that squad. And a number 1 pick does that. Number 1 pick, you got your selection or the power to trade back for ridiculous amount of picks. I mean, look what Dan did last year, guys. So we'll see what happens there. But that's the consolation bracket. Let's get on to the real playoffs. Matchup number 1, the battle for the East. Brotherly love with blood. You got the 7-7, well, a little bit better than that. You got the Hickory Grove Heaters versus the Philadelphia Smeagol's. This is the battle for the East, guys. I mean, the Smeagol's already won the East, but this is the real battle for the East. Which brother can be better? Which one? They both live in forests, sort of. They're both creepy looking, sort of. And it's going to be a really tough matchup. As it stands now, the Heaters are winning, but it's projected that the Smeagol's will win. Kyler Murray put up about 20 points for the Heaters. George Kittle, only 3 points out of that tight end spot. That's one of those spots for the Heaters that they really usually need to come through big for them to do well. But they did get 7 out of A.J. Dillon in that flex spot. And the Smeagol's had Jimmy, the pretty, handsome man Garoppolo with 13 points at quarterback. And that's all they've got as of now. This is a huge matchup. I don't know if these guys have ever played in a spot like this for the playoffs, especially brothers. I mean, this is history, guys. Holy fuck. So, this is a big fucking game. But let's look at the Heaters lineup. Woo! We got Kyler Murray. Man, he's been good. looking real good. If only he had gotten maybe, what, 5 more yards on that one big carry, he would have, what, 20, 25 points instead of 19, but what can you do there? He's got Cordero Patterson, who really didn't do much last week. He's starting Alexander Madison, who is going to play and going to start instead of Dalvin Cook. And that's going to be a big game. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Tyler Lockett in there looking solid. You got A.J. Dillon already played, but then, Kittle just, ugh. A change of kicker. Butker got hurt. He's out. Younghoe Koo is in. Koo has been in and out of Hickory Grove, I don't know, 10 times this season. But maybe he might finally come through in the clutch like he did last year for this team and send their asses to the championship game. Let's get on to the Smeagol's. Line up. Philadelphia Smeagol's. Haven't seen them yet. You got pretty boy Jimmy Garoppolo in there. You got the Giblets, Gibson, Alvin Kamara. You got Amari Cooper, who, he's got the icicles on him. He hasn't done too much lately, but he's pretty solid. Jalen Waddle, damn good rookie. You got Zeke Elliott, again, just, not that he's old. He's just, I don't know what he is. Maybe he's washed up. Maybe he's just worn down. Is he 30 yet? How old is Zeke? He's been in the league 5. He's only 26. Zeke is only 26 and he's running like he's 31. So, sorry. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Zeke. Maybe he can pull through, but I feel like Zeke Elliott's going to be the X factor for this team. If Zeke puts up big numbers or even decent numbers, then the Smeagol's have a fantastic shot to move on. If Zeke does not, then this squad will suffer. But he's got Mandrews, who's been, again, on fire. He's got Matt Gay. And it's weird to put a kicker on fire, but the dude's put up 16, 15, and 11 the last 3 games. And he's only put up under 8 points once the entire year. And that was against San Francisco before the bye week. So Matt Gay has been killing it at kicker for this team. It's an undervalued position, but if you can find a good kicker that can get you double digits every week, that is fucking solid. Defense here looks very damn good. You got Brian Burns, Jordan Brooks, and I always call him Justin Poyer. Jordan Poyer, fantastic. I didn't talk about the Heaters defense. They got Kyle Van Noy, Bobby Wagner, and Mika the Stinker Fitzpatrick. Solid lineup. They did change out defensive linemen, but pretty good swap there. No, Van Noy does not play for the Dolphins. He plays for the Patriots. Anyways, back to the Smeagol's. Again, they're looking pretty solid, but it's going to be a close matchup. This is, for me, this is game of the week by what we know now. But let's move on to the battle for the West. You got the 9-5 Vietnam Voyagers at the West champion LA Finesse. This fucking game, I'm going to try and not get mad at myself, really, because the Voyagers, I've heard, head coach of the Voyagers woke up and he actually thought the game started at 4:30 a.m. Vietnam time when it actually started at 8:15. The coach woke up at 8 a.m., went down to the corner store to get some coffee, came back and realized the game had started, and then realized that Connor was out and Edmonds was the only starter in that Cardinals backfield. So the Voyagers lost out on 22.7 points by not starting Chase Edmonds, which would have given them the lead as of now. It wouldn't give them the edge on projected win, but they would definitely be in the hunt. But now it's looking like almost a one-horse race for the Finesse, unless they collapse. So we'll see. Let's get into the lineups. The Voyagers, completely new team, as I said. Dalvin Cook, and Austin Eckler both out. You got trusty Matt Stafford in there, quarterback, but you got Justin Jackson in there at running back 1, who honestly has the potential to put up big ass numbers. Maybe not in the receiving game like Eckler does, but in the rushing game. And if he gets the volume, he has the potential to put up 20 or more points easily. He's a very good runner, and we're going to see what he's going to do tonight versus Houston, who is garbage against the run. And then you got Jordan Howard. And again, had I known that that Edmonds would have been the sole starter or Connor would have been out, then Edmonds would be in the running back 2 spot, but he's not. We got Jordan Howard in there, and I'm just praying that he's going to get me a touchdown or 2. Then you got superstar Justin friggin' Jefferson. Fantastic game. The Voyagers need a big outing from basically everybody at this point to have a good shot in this game. Even from Jefferson. Wide receiver 2, they got Michael Pittman. He already put up 12.5 points. Pretty solid there. In flex, they're really hoping Mooney can, again, keep up his solid work. But the big story kind of is at tight end here. I mean, not as big as the running backs being out, but at tight end, they're starting CJ Uzomah. And is it Uzomah or Uzomah? Someone tell me after this video. Anyways, Uzomah has been very mediocre at tight end. But the last time this team needed a tight end in a tight spot, they picked up Uzomah against Baltimore. He put up 22 points. Guess what? This team needs a tight end in a big spot. And guess what? Uzomah's playing Baltimore. So they're hoping that Uzomah can recreate his magic again and do it. Then you got the best kicker in the league, Justin Tucker, one of the best defenses in the league. You got TJ Watt and Eric Kendricks, probably the best front 2, I guess front 7, but it's like a fantasy, so front 2 in the league. And Kevin Byard put up 7, which is, it's all right. That's respectable from your defensive back. Let's look at the finesse. The finesse are sporting Patrick fucking Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, and Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones has already put up 11.5 points in week 1. And then big fucking Debo put up 22.5 points. This dude was the steal of the year. Maybe, I mean, it depends on how long he keeps it going, but holy fuck. Debo has been killing it. And he already put up, you know, again, like I said, 22.5 points. Huge numbers. He's got CeeDee Lamb in there. Travis Kelce is questionable. So very big development there at the tight end spot. If Kelce is not in, Mahomes may not have as good of a day. So for me, I'm hoping Kelce's fucking out. But if he's in, Mahomes is known to have bad games this year, so we'll see what happens there. Tyler Bass, the Voyagers traded Finesse Bass earlier this season for some picks because, you know, 2 kickers is too many. And then on defense, they got a, you know, solid defense. Nothing to write home about. It's all about the offense with this team. But the defense, they got Trey Hendrickson on the defensive line, Fred Warner, who already put up 6, which is not very good from a linebacker spot, especially from Warner. And Justin Simmons, a defensive back, pretty damn solid. Anyways, holy fuck. Let's get on predictions. Again, we're on 29 minutes. Holy shit, why is this so long? Let's get on predictions very quick. I made the picks this week. Last week, Constellation Committee went 3-1. So we are 46-42 overall. I think we'll probably end it there on keeping the record because no one made the picks this week. I made the picks like today, so they don't really count. So 46-42 on the season out of 88 games. We got 46 of them right. The winners this year for the prediction records are Hunter and someone else went 5-1. No, Hunter. Hunter was the best. Hunter went 5-1. So congratulations, Hunter, on the 5-1. Fantastic picks this year. Good job, guys. Let's get on the predictions that I guess I made. Again, I made these this morning, so take it with a grain of salt. In the Who Cares games, you got Moondogs over the Trolls, Quailmen over the Titans Elite, but those don't matter for anything. They literally don't matter anymore. Not for draft capital, not for anything. It's literally just, eh. But in the consolation games, you got the Tiger Sharks over the Wise Guys in a rivalry game. You got the Dumpster Fire over the Bunny Bangers in a Chunk Chat rivalry game. You got the Heaters over the Smeagol's. I'm picking the upset. I'm going for it. The Heaters over the Smeagol's in the upset rivalry game of the week. Woo! To win the East. And in the game of the week, again, I saw this before. I got the Finesse over the Voyagers, but even though I probably still would have picked the Finesse over the Voyagers because both of my top running backs are fucking out. So, yeah. Those are picks, guys. And, yeah. That's it. This is the longest fucking video I've done this year. Sorry, guys, for talking so much. 31 damn minutes. And we've added a couple new faces here. We got Dan, graduating from Tulane, and Joe. First time he won the belt. You guys are all here. Congratulations, guys, to not making the fucking playoffs, and good luck to everyone else that are in games that fucking matter. Okay? And again, yesterday was Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everybody. And I guess next week will be Happy New Year. So Happy New Year as well, everybody. And